Let us start our mock without wasting our time. And we all know that the pre-scene debrief is out now, the summary and the list of important topic, everything is being out and shared in the Google Drive as well and through the document as well, in which the links are compiled by me. So let's start today's mock, and we are going to conduct a mock again on the past paper exam, that is the real past paper exam, right? So that we can have the better assessment of our preparation, of our drafting practices, the conceptual grip, everything, right? So whatever the result would be, we would consider that it is our result for the upcoming 2025 September attempt, and we need to improve or progress accordingly as per our performance. So here is the pre-scene, and now we have the Beago company, and the industry is TNC, industry information. We'll see what does it mean, the TNC. Overview, bill and market, the services, customer, driver, ride hailing, ride sharing processes, challenges, development, right? So this is, and then we have the KPI. So this was all about the industry, looking from the index, that these are the information which are provided in this pre-scene and the regulation as well. Then we have the company whose case study we are going to attempt today in today's mock, that is Beago. The background, growth, ownership, services which are being offered by the Beago, technology it is using, Beago's staff, senior leadership structure, key risk. These are for the Beago. And then the website extracts, KPIs. So there are two types of KPIs, the KPIs for the industry and KPI for the Beago, and we'll see what are the differences and what could be the comparison. If the question asks you something about it, evaluation of the KPIs or the improvement, so you can compare it with the industry KPIs and then comment. Yes, Rahul. All right, so the introduction. Beago is a transport network company, TNC, that means the transport network company. And when it does says transport network company, it pops up in my mind about the Uber, Careem, InDrive, Bolt, Genie. We all know about them, right? So this is the very similar or well-known industry to us, and we all know many things about it, right? So it's going to be a bit easy or friendly for us. But again, even if it is not, the pre-scene is here to make us comfortable with the industry, and so that we do not feel alien. It is operating in the country of Beeland. So the Beeland is our country, which has a population of over 200 million people. Beago was established 12 years ago, and then it went on to become the second largest TNC business in the Beago based on the revenue and the customer numbers. Okay. The industry information, we have the overview of the industry. It's saying that it provides the on-demand transportation services through its website and the mobile app-based platform. We all know how it works, right? Unlike the traditional taxi cab hiring business, TNC do not maintain their own fleets of vehicle or employs driver directly. Instead, individual driver works as independent contractor for TNC. So we all know that it is an alternative to going to the street and booking the taxi cab. So we are using the website or the app for booking the on-demand rides. Then the customer requests the ride through TNC platform. They are connected to the contracted drivers, and then they are connected to the platform. So the thing is that these drivers, they are not our employees, and the TNC company, they do not have any cars or the fleet of cars. They do not own anything. What they are doing, they are giving the platform to the contractor. These are the drivers having their own cars, and the customers, they are connecting them. This is the business model of this industry. Okay. And they are saying that the TNC terminology will be used to define the businesses. In pre-scene, it is written TNC. It means that we are talking about this business model. Okay. Which are outlined in the page 3 and 4. We will be talking that what are the range of services being offered in this industry, right? Beeland has a well developed economy. Nearly 80% of its population live and work in the urban areas. Obviously, it's a pastel E and then the S element of the pastel. Its public transport facility, including buses, trains, have come under increasing pressure in the recent year due to rapidly growing urban population. Obviously, when the population increases, the demand for the transportation and the good infrastructure increases. So that is why the public transport facility is under a huge pressure, to satisfy or accommodate everyone, which they are not being able to do right now, leading to overcrowding and unreliability. Billion government is supporting the innovative ways to address the transport challenges. Government is being supportive to this industry because this is the only solution through which they can accommodate the society or the population. This is the P part of the industry. TNC have proved to be a popular among the cities, as they offer convenient and reasonably priced alternative to the public transport. We are the TNCs is the substitute to the public transport, and public transport is substitute to TNC. So both are the substitute of each other. And the government sees TNC as an alternative to people owning and using their own cars. So for the government, TNC business is basically the substitute product as compared to the people owning their own cars. And we all know in the big cities, in the capital cities, how much the traffic and the congestion happens if the people are having more cars. I remember when I was in Saudi Arabia, the situation was that if there are four people in the home in your family, there are at least four cars in your family is owning at least four cars. So this makes a lot of congestion in the on the roads and the capital cities, like because many rich people lives in them, so they can afford the cars, right? So the Beeline market. Zambi is Beago's main competitor. Beago is the company whose case study we are studying. So Zambi is the biggest competitor, right? It was the first TNC business established in Beeland 14 years ago. Zambi is currently the largest TNC operating in Beeland and is also world's second largest TNC. That means it's a global company which is operating in the 50 countries. Beago was established 2 years ago after Zambi. So 2 years after Zambi, Beago came into the market. It gradually obtained a significant portion of the Zambi's market share. So Beago has been successful in capturing the Zambi's market share. We all know this. Beago only operates in Beeline. It is not a global business. It is operating in 250 cities across the country. Uh, Currently, local authority of each city has its own criteria to allow the operating license to TNCs and their drivers, right? So you have to be very careful about each city because they are having their own criteria, rules, regulation, and these standards for having the operating license into that city. That means that the license are separate for each cities mainly, and also for the drivers as well, right? So far, if there is any confusion or question, please do drop it in the chat. I will look at them in bits and pieces. So the thing is that several TNC business have been attracted to the Beeline market. Businesses are new entrants are coming into the Beeline market, but but they only operating with the limited numbers of the cities. So it means that except for the Zambi and Beago, there are many other competitors or the players in the market, but they are operating in very limited cities. It's fine. At the end of the 2000X3, that is the current year, which has ended, together Zambi and Beago held 85% of the market share. So that means that they, on the collective basis, are the major player. The rest of all are owning only 15%. Customer registered with TNC have doubled in the last 8 years. In last 8 years, the customer which are using the TNC services have doubled. Okay. By the end of the 2000X3, 25% of the Beeline population were active users of the TNC service. So that means that out of the total population, 25% of the people are active at the end of the year. During the year, it could be different, but at the end, it's a position that 25% of the people are using the TNC services. And it's a huge number, right? However, the competition for customers also comes from the traditional taxi cabs and from the public transport. Obviously, these traditional taxi cabs and public transport, they are the substitute to you. So the competition would arise. Okay. So the TNC market share of the Beeland. So we have the Zambi, Beago, and other, and I have drawn the lines for you so that see the share of the Zambi, it's increasing. Okay, and the share of the Zambi, it's declining. We all know the Zambi captured the Beago captured the market share of the Zambi, and then we have the other one. They are also growing, but with a very limited growth rate. So this is the market share and the growth of the market share of each player in summarized in the table. TNC users growth in Beeline. So the 25% of the users are using the TNC services, and it has grown by this line. So it is increasing as well. We have the TNC services descriptions here. We have ride sharing services, ride hailing, micromobility, customer rentals, business services. So these are all services which we all know in advance. It is just that we will have a refined knowledge of them. Let us go through it quickly. Ride sharing means the sharing of ride by two different peoples. Okay, ride sharing with other passengers, allowing multiple and unrelated customer with the pickup and drop off location along the same or similar route to share a vehicle for that journey usually at a discounted price. Obviously, when you share the ride, it becomes a discount for you, and only those customer can share the ride who has the similar route, or the drop off or the pickup point is on the way. And don't you think that there would be a high role of technology in finding or connecting those customers with each other? So this thing, I am feeling that the technological aspect should be kept into the mind while assessing this option. Both Zambi and Biago were initially established to offer a ride sharing service. Okay, so they were initially offering these services. Their aim was to reduce the number of single occupancy rides within the city, reducing the congestion and impacting positively on the environment. Obviously, when multiple customers are using the same cab, it will decrease the congestion. The less cars are needed for them. And the other thing is that obviously when the number of cars are reducing, the negative impacts on the environment will also decrease. So this was the aim behind establishing this service. And also it is a cost effective ride for the customers and a good option for them. Customer must specifically request a shared ride on the TNC platform to use this service. So that means that whenever you are raising a request for the ride, as we do on our Uber, Careem, Bolt, Genie platforms, right, in drive platform, we have to select it initially whether you need a shared drive or you need a separate ride. So this is how it goes on. Ride hailing means the customer requests a driver to take them exactly where they need to go. So this is a ride sharing, this is a ride hailing. In this we share the ride, in this we do not share the ride. This can be achieved by using the app or website of the TNC service provider. Also, how they can do this, the customer can book a traditional taxi cab business, okay, and they can pick a ride by going to the street or making a phone call to book the traditional drive as well. So this is how the ride hailing goes on, and it is most popular among the service because obviously the ride sharing, it is not that easy, and there are very less chances that you would find someone going at the same route, having the same pickup or the destination, or maybe on the same route and the same time as well. So it is by nature cannot be that much popular. So the ride hailing is most popular option. Okay, and Zambi and Biago both are offering this. Obviously this is on demand. You can also book the taxi on demand, and also you can schedule it in the advance as well, and this is option available on the apps as well, which we are using. Micromobility, what does it mean? It means that the network of shared bicycle can be rented by the customer looking for the transportation option, more active, lower price, more environmental friendly. Okay, this is the features of this option. They are often more efficient for shorter trips during the heavy traffic. Bicycles are located at the fixed docking stations in key location around the city. Docking station contains a terminal to release the bikes. We all know in the big cities at the main location there are station made for the electronic bicycles, or the what do I call these two wheels, small two wheels skiing type of bicycle which people are using, to go through the seaside runway or any area which they want to visit. So these kind of things we all are familiar with, right? So these are also a popular option. Okay. Customer use the TNC platform to book and pay for the bicycle rental. On completion of the booking, the customer are provided with the code to unlock the device from the docking station. Right. So this is how it works, that these all bikes are located at the station. No one needs to be there. People are, not that kind of people that they would take it and they would, steal it away. So the people will book the bicycle from the app or platform. They will get a code, they will insert the code into the bicycle, and then it will unlock and you can use it. So this is how it goes on. And yes, you can unlock from the docking station, and the bicycle can be returned any dock station at the end of the hired period. So there are multiple docking station when your ride or your period of the subscription ends. You can, drop off the bicycle at any station. They will take care of that, how the bicycle will reach to the initial station, or do we need to do it or not. This is again one of the key aspect of the service provider, but for customer this is not an issue. Micromobility options are often used by the customer to complete the last part of their journey, such as bicycle from a bus or train station to their places of work. So that means that the people who are using the public transportation, buses or the train, when they step out of the station, now they have to go to their home. Obviously, station are not dropping them directly or the doorstep of their home. So how they will travel to the home? They will use this bicycle services. They will hire it, and then they will go to their home and drop off the bicycle. So the location of the bicycle station, it has to be strategically aligned with the stations and the populated area, so that people can use it, right? For the business perspective I'm talking about. Then we have the customer rental. What does it mean? Let us see. A partnership agreement between the TNC and the local and national car rental business. So rent a car, we all know what it is. Rather than renting the ride, we rent the whole car for a specific period. That give this car to me, I'm renting it, and I will give it back to you. So this is the rent a car model, and this is this service, rent a car, completely rent a car model, right? Where customer can book a rental car through TNC platform. So what it is doing, the TNC platform is connecting the customers and the rent a car businesses with each other through its platform, focusing on minimizing the need for car ownership. Obviously, when you have the rent a car option, the people less tends to go towards the ownership of the car, because they can rent a car for the specific period when they need it. Okay, making a car rental vehicle viable and easy alternate for the customers. Customer can arrange a car rental normally for a period of between 1 to 14 days, like week or two, directly through TNC, who arranges for a driver to pick up and drop off the customer at the car rental business. So what does TNC do? It connects them, and also they will arrange a driver who will go to the customer, pick up the customer, and will drop off the customer to the rent a car business premises where the customer can take the car. So this service is also provided by the TNC. And what TNC is getting in return? TNC is getting a commission in return. All right. Business services, what does it mean? It is offered by the TNC to the range of businesses. We all know that in many businesses they offer the transportation services to their employees. There is a common bus or the station from where they pick their employees every morning, and then they bring them to the office, and then they drop them off to their home. So this is a service being provided by the TNC to the businesses. So the businesses do not need to own the buses or the vehicle, or manage the drivers, route, everything. It is all sort of outsourcing arrangement by the businesses to TNCs. Okay. Also, TNC provide the courtesy transport to the customer and client. What is the courtesy transport? The courtesy transport means that, for example, I am a business and I am going to meet a very big customer for a major deal. Don't you think that for courtesy, if I would send Rolls Royce or Mercedes to that customer, that Mercedes or Rolls Royce will pick up the customer and bring him or her to my premises, then we have a deal, and then it will drop him or her off. It's a courtesy right. So TNC provide this as well to the businesses, okay, and also for the clients and the customers. It reduces the cost, save time, streamline their own ground of transportation activities. So this is outsourcing thing. Obviously, it will reduce your cost and time. So the TNC customer, how it goes, how the customers are interacting with this business, how the industry goes on. The TNC customers use it to travel from one point to another, like for work, exploring cities, to shop, local businesses, and everything, right? How the customer can become a customer or the client of the TNC? They have to make an online account on their website or app, right? They have to enter the personal details. Whenever I say personal detail, my every student should think about these things, right? So also you have to put the credit and debit card details. All payments are made electronically through TNC platform. So there is a risk which comes into my mind. The wrong deduction from the credit card is made, what could happen, right? So these are the issues: wrong deduction, less deduction, or deduction from the wrong customer account and payment to the wrong driver. These are the all issues which could happen, right? So these are the practical things which, if we think, we will come to know, and the ideas we will get. Okay. Then customer can choose range services, book a ride hail or ride sharing. They must enter their required pickup location. So obviously, to book the ride, you have to give your location, or either you have to use the GPS navigation, which will give your automatic exact point of. See, you can tell them to pick me from that specific location. I will be there, or either you can give your GPS location that I am here. Come and pick me. So these are the two options, right? And the destination which you need to be there by using the ride. Price of the ride is quoted at the point of booking. Customer accepts it, and then the notification is sent to the ride. Notification of the ride request is then automatically sent to the TNC driver app. So once the customer describes its location, the pickup point, and the destination, and the price is quoted, and the customer accept the price, then the notification goes to the driver through the driver app. So there are two apps: the customer app and the driver app. These all are functioning. These both are functioning separately. Once the driver has confirmed the acceptance, so the driver then confirms the acceptance that this route, this price, I am accepting. Okay. Customer apps notifies the customer about the driver profile, vehicle model, vehicle registration number, to check the driver details before getting into the vehicle. And I always, whenever I read this line, it reminds me of an incident when I was with in Islamabad, the capital city of Pakistan, with my audit team. So we were heading back from the client to our guest house, and we booked the ride, two rides, and one ride came. It was a very small car, and we were making fun and everything. The half team went away, and we were waiting for our ride. So meanwhile, the ride came, and it was a good car, and I don't know. We did not check the car number plate and everything. We just get into the car, and then we started our journey. Midway, obviously, we were not that aware of the routes, and because it was unknown city for us. But midway, we were all boys and having fun with driver. It came into my mind that, boss, from which route you are going? So he told me that the route which is goes to your destination. And then we inquired that what is the destination where you are going, and on the same time, the lady called the driver and said that where are you and everything. And then we got to know that we got into the wrong cab. So this could happen, and that is why this thing is a very important aspect of this industry. So the TNC driver, to drive, they must register through the website or driver app. Okay. They must choose the city in which they need to ride. Okay. The driver must hold a full B-line driving license, a private car hiring license. So there are two licenses: driving license and car hiring license. Both of them you have to have, right? authorized by the local authority of the city. As we just read, that you have to take the permission or the driving license from the local authority as well, because every local authority has its own standards. So you have to have the driving license from the national authority, and then the local authority will give you the car hiring license that you can provide these services. They have to upload their recent photo, so the customer can identify them. Rider is not authorized to drive until all necessary background checks have been completed. What are the checks? Criminal background, driving offense, medical health, and they are carried out by the third party expert provider. Okay. So once verified, the driver can accept a request ride by accepting through the driver app. Most TNC requires a vehicle which meets specification relating to the age and condition of the vehicle, which must fully insured. So obviously every TNC has its own standard and the criteria of the cars which can be used by the drivers, and they all has to be insured fully. Okay. However, driver do not need to own their own vehicle. Driver can also lease out the vehicle, right? This is not necessary that if I am doing a driving services, the car has to be mine. I can lease out from somewhere, someone else. Okay, it is possible. Some TNC also lease out the vehicle for the driver of TNC, and some offer leasing facility to their drivers. So that means that TNC also does the backward integration as well. That means, see, I am TNC and I am taking a supply from the drivers to accommodate my customers. So what if I become the supplier of my supplier? I become the lessor for these drivers. So this is called the backward integration. I am moving backwards in my supply chain, right? Driver do not set their own prices. So the right prices, they are not set by the driver. How they are set? They are set by the standard rate plus the charge per kilometer. So that means there is a criteria that, for example, every ride will have $200. Okay, for example, it's too much, I know, plus $5 for each kilometer, right? So this is how the right price is being determined through the app. Okay, again, there has to be very good control over them, because if the right prices are being calculated wrongly, it could impact customer or driver as well. Right. So these are the things which are not mentioned here, but when I think about practically from the customer's point of view, from the driver's point of view, from the minded, then I get these kind of ideas or identify these issues. Okay. Bill and drivers working for TNC are recognized as the independent contractor and not the employees. This allows them to choose their own working hour. Flexibility attracts the driver. Some students, retired people, and part-time worker, they also provide the driving services. For example, if there is a student who is going to the university which is far from his home, and weighing back to his home, he's thinking, then why not, if I would get a ride and I can earn from it, it will cover my fuel cost. This could happen, and this happens. I have seen many people doing this, even from their office to home. uh, Retired people do this, part-time worker do these kind of things, right? So that here is the ride sharing process. Whatever we have just discussed above, it is summarized here in a very short way. So if you need to refer while attempting your paper, you can refer it. For the time being, I'm skipping it because it's purely same thing which we have just discussed, right? Nothing new. So the industry challenges, what are the challenging? That operation are subject to the global economic condition. How? Resulting impact on spending by the customers, slow economic growth, recession, increase in fuel costs can decrease the consumer spending power or the confidence. Obviously, the use of the transport, cars, and trips, or these kind of things only happens when people have money, when the economic conditions are good, when the fuel cost is low and the fare prices are low. So if the adverse impact are happening in the economy, the demand would decrease. Same thing, growth depends on the ability to attract and retain qualified drivers. Okay, and who satisfy the required screening criteria and increase availability of driver operating hour. So not only you have to find the drivers, you have to find the drivers who can give you the maximum driving hours, the so that your business is available 24 by 7. Okay. If TNC do not provide drivers with flexibility and opportunity to earn sufficient income, if they are giving them less amount of money, they will not stay with you. They will fail to attract new drivers, retain current driver, resulting in complaint and negative publicity. Obviously, if your drivers are not happy with you, they will not be accommodating your customers in a good way. Okay. Then this will inevitably adversely affect customers and business client. Urbanization increases and car ownership decreases. Maintaining a growing necessary pool of drivers will be a challenging thing for TNC, because the people are now moving to the big cities. They are not owning the cars. So obviously, if there are no cars, then how the drivers can find the cars, how they can have the car and they can provide the driving services. This is an issue. Similarly, the success of the industry depends on the ability to attract new customers, retaining existing, and increasing their usage. So, how much you attract the customer, you retain them, and also not retaining them, the increasing their usage of your services is also the key factor in your growth. Okay, customer has wide variety of options. They have many substitutes. What are they? Own vehicle, rental car, taxi cab, public transport, other TNC service provider. So you have to be very careful. Customer preferences are changing over the time, so you must continually have new ways which appeal to new customer who have historically used other forms of transportation or other TNC platforms. All right. Okay. Then we have the environmental impacts. Environmental impact of the transportation have become major focus of the government. Transportation industry is considered to be significant contributor to the air pollution of and TNC activity has been cited as a cause for rising congestion and air pollution in the urban areas. Very similar or very, I would say, common thing. Because of the transportation industry, it will have a negative impact on the environment. We all know about it. Then several cities are introducing technologies to manage their traffic flow and congestion, which could disrupt the services offered by the TNC. Obviously, now the traffic flow and the routes would be controlled by the many cities local authorities, so it can affect your business operation. Okay. Also, the clean air zones are being made in many towns and city to improve the air quality, and whatever the driver is driving in those clean air zone, they have to pay extra charges, right? The fees being imposed on all the drivers driving in those designated zones, and obviously it will increase their cost and reduce the driver's margin. So drivers would be reluctant to accept the rides at that in that zone. So as a business, you have to find the solution that somehow you provide the driver additional fare. If not the additional fare, for example, if I'm saying that the company is giving 60% to driver, keeping 40%. So as a business leader, what I will do on the rides in these designated zone, I will increase this ratio. For example, if they are having the fees, I would say I will bear the 70% of the fees and you will bear the 30% of the fees, whatever is charged on you, and I will increase this ratio accordingly. This you can do to attract your drivers, make them happy. So not the purpose of the discussion, the pre-scene, the mock is that to enhance your thinking ability, to enhance your knowledge, to critically find the ways and evaluate the situation, and please have focus on my every analysis, right? The latest development, what we have, the latest developments are that food delivery. Recently, many TNC has started to provide the food delivery services where customer can order the food from the dedicated app of the local and national restaurant. So the food order is given through the restaurant website, food outlet, okay, and orders are placed via TNC platform. So the TNC platform is integrated with the restaurant or the food outlet website or the platform, and then the order is placed through it. Okay, restaurant confirms it, prepare it, and the driver picks it and deliver the food to the selected destination. So the people are now using the TNC services for not only their transport but to take delivery of the food as well. Driverless autonomous cars. by name it is very clear, but it is in a testing phase for its viability. And in the testing phase, at least one of the supervisory person is required to be present in them. So the driverless car can navigate to the destination, avoid obstacle without human intervention. To accomplish this, it uses an artificial intelligence system to sense its surrounding, process visual data to avoid collision, steer, brakes, uses GPS to track current location and destination. Don't you think that the driver would be opposing this kind of innovation or the ideas? These are the threats to them, huh? So keep it in mind that the drivers would oppose it because this will eliminate them. Then we have electrical vehicle. Most TNC recognize the negative impact on the environment due to their activities, and they are insisting the drivers to use the electronic vehicles as much as possible. Key indicators we have very easy: active customer, active driver, rides completed, revenue, net promoter score, driver satisfaction. These are very, I would say, very common indicators. Number of customers which have used your app, number of drivers who have been active, number of rides which have been completed through your platform, amounts of money generated through fares, commission, and other sources, customer satisfaction, loyalty rating, and high scores mean that they would be recommending you to the other people as well. It is written here. I'm not saying anything from my side. Driver satisfaction level, it is based on the range of the measure, including rates, pay, safety provision, and level of support provided by the TNC. The support which I was talking about, if they are operating in the designated zone where they would be fine with extra fees. Okay, so the regulation, currently no overall standards to which TNC in Beago in B-land should adhere in terms of the operational requirement, technology, data security, driver status, environmental impact. So there are no specific standards right now. In some countries, drivers have set up trade unions, driver network association, which have enabled them to gain a collective voice. Where implemented, these have been popular with drivers, and there has been more success in challenging TNC through the particular country's legal system, recognizing driver employment rights and status. Connected with here, drivers can oppose it, and they have the unions and they have the power as well in some countries. Now we have the Biago overview. Before starting the Biago interview overview, I would like you to please confirm me through the chat that so far what have we discussed, it is clear to you all. Can you guys please? Yes, sir. Okay, perfect. Now let's move forward. So the Biago background, we all know it has been established. Okay, Musa, please ask. Musa, do ask your question and I will look at it later when I will take a break or I will look at the screen. So Biago was established 12 years ago by two people, Ed Foss and Kim Lee. They were colleagues at the same company. They have previously set up and managed the business. Okay. In Beeline, developing mobile apps or for other organizations. So they were doing a business that they used to develop the mobile apps for the other businesses. So their business was developing the mobile app for other people. Then they have having experienced their own daily challenges in commuting and socializing in Beeline capital city, where they lived and worked. They recognized the need for a more convenient and cost effective transportation option with Beeline cities. So they thought that why should not we make our own app and start our own business of the TNC. Okay. Their initial focus was to encourage customer to share rides wherever possible, although ride sharing and ride hailing both were available to the customer. So their initial focus was for the ride sharing, but obviously both of the options were available on their platform. Musa, I am waiting for your question. Okay. In early days, there were only the website was very basic, and the mobile app was also basic with only few drivers. It was clear to Ed and Kim that the demand of the ride sharing was high. Although they know, but in start obviously everything starts from the zero. Over the next few years, supported by the financially by several venture capitalists. So the venture capitalists supported them, provided them fund, and they got the boom. rapidly. They grew rapidly, and at the end of the 2003, over 16 million active customers they have, and now they are predicting that it will rise to 19 million at the end of the next year. Okay, registered active customer. There is a graph, which is showing that it used to grow very rapidly, then it became slow, and then now it is again on the growing rate. And the cities in which they are operating in 250 cities, and it has went on to grow like this. Okay. Ownership status, it was listed 5 years ago. 80% of the shareholding are held by the large institutional investors, and we all know the institutional investors are concerned about the good corporate governance, your integrated reporting, your ethical concerns, your CSR activities, everything, right? 10% of the shareholding are held by these two colleagues, and the other 10% is held by the small private investors. Now services offered by the Beago, 5% of the business services. So this is the overall idea about their services which are provided by them. Let me just go through it quickly. It was first established. Beago focused on primarily ride sharing. Its founder wanted environmentally sustainable transport solution. However, over the year, ride hailing has become more increasingly popular with customers. Okay, who wants to get from point A to B without sharing their ride with another customer. Currently over 70% of the Biago revenue generated from its ride-hailing services. Ride sharing is still demanded by customer, particularly student and lower income customer. Currently only generates 12% of the revenue. What do you think that when there is an economic downturn, don't you think that the demand for the what? Can you please type in the chat demand for which thing will increase when there is a uh, economic downturn? Yes, right now it has to be borne by the drivers, Musa. But obviously, if it has to be borne by the driver, why would they accept the ride for that zone? Ride sharing, exactly, exactly. Good. Okay. Then we have micromobility. What they are saying us about the micromobility after a few 5 years ago, Biago acquired a national micromobility business. So they entered into this business by acquisition, enabling it to offer its customer new service of bicycle hire. Environmentally friendly transport option proved to be very popular with the customer in B land in last 2 years. Biago has invested significantly in additional infrastructure to support the growing demand for these services, right? So they have invested significantly, right? Currently, Biago operates micro-mobility service in over 100 cities across the Beeland, and it has over 9 million active customers or users who are using micro-mobility services. So I can, have a feeling that these two workers or the colleagues, they are very concerned about the environmental impact from these all things, right? Business services. 2 years ago, Biago partnered with several national organizations to transport their staff and from to and from workplaces, meeting and events, and to transport customers and client to and from meetings, hotels, airport, train, bus, and station. The business services, as I explained you in the earlier part, it is just explained that Biago is offering these kind of services to several national organization. Okay. Now we have the technology which is used by the Biago. It is very important thing. Biago uses several different technologies, website and mobile app, payment processing software, customer driver database, GPS software. Okay, so these are the front end technologies which are used to interact with the customer and drivers. Okay, the and the website, mobile app and the website. This system processes the automatic payment from the customers on completion of each ride. In addition, this system processes the weekly payment made directly to the driver's account based on the rides completed and percentage of the ride price earned by the driver. So I have seen one issue here, that the thing is that the payments are being deducted automatically from the account of the customer. It was above as well that whenever the ride is completed, your bank account details are there. So the system automatically deduct the payment from the customer's account. So there is a risk that it would deduct from the wrong customer account. If correct customer, wrong amount. Okay. And then the other thing is that you are making a weekly payments to the driver's bank account, right? So there is a risk that payment is not made. If it is made to the, if it is made, if it made to the wrong driver, and if it is made to the correct driver, the amount could be incorrect, right? So there are three issues. And the other thing is that why you are giving them weekly payments. How about if you could reduce this frequency? I would say increase this frequency to 2 days, 3 days. If your drivers are having issues with it, right? This could be the recommendation which you can give. Then this is done. Beago database collect and manages driver and customer data, including customer name, address, email, date of birth, mobile phone number, bank credit card details, need to pay for each ride taken. So these are the some very confidential and personal data which you need to be very careful with. Customer ride completed, start and end point, duration, time. This is also stored in the database, that how many rides have been completed, start point, end point, duration, time. Driver name, addresses, driving license detail, insurance detail, car registration number, bank details. Again, very sensitive information. Driver ride completed, average ride time, driving ratings. These are again confidential data of each driver which should not be shared with anyone except for the drivers and the customer who are booking that driver. GPS software. Beago uses sophisticated GPS software system to accurately map the position of its customer and driver. Yes, if you are not using a good GPS system, you cannot have the accurate location, and it happens with everyone that sometimes the driver is at the back of the road or at the back of the society or the building, right? So you have to be very careful with your GPS system. So GPS system has to be sophisticated. It's a good thing. The software can pinpoint the customer when they request a ride and then pinpoint their final destination. The software is used to calculate the optimum route for the drivers to reach the customer and their destination. So the system, what it is doing, first, if it is accurately locating the customers and the driver, it will save their cost. Number one thing, obviously, from going there and there again and again. And the other thing is that they calculate the optimum route as well, so it will reduce the cost for both drivers and the customers. Customers have the access to the GPS information to give them live information about their rides, and driver have the access to the information to locate the customer and then follow the recommended routes to the destination. So the both of them have the access to this GPS system. Customer use it to track the driver's location, and the driver use it to track the customer location and then the route. And one other thing we can do is that how about if you would provide the customer tracking to someone related to the customers, some relative, right, for the security purpose. This thing I can see it is missing right now. But anyhow, Beago has a commercial agreement with the Beeline based cloud service provider to deliver and host Beago technology platform. Outsourcing we are doing from the who cloud service provider, and I feel like we have covered this kind of question in our practice sessions as well. Beago technology platform is critical in enabling the millions of rides undertaken every day, and it also provided insights which Beago uses to develop its technology further. So the platform is critical. Obviously, if the platform is not working, you cannot do anything. And also, it provides you the insights as well about the so that you can develop your technology further. It uses historical and real-time data to continuously improve experience for the drivers and customer by analyzing the data covering the ride's life cycle, from when the drivers go online and customer request ride to when they match, which route they take, and the feedback given after the ride. So these are the data specification which are stored on the cloud of the service provider, and it is used by the Beago to increase the customer satisfaction, the driver's experience, everything. Let me highlight it for you. So continuous improvement, analyzing that covering of the ride cycle, when drivers go offline, customer request the line, when they match, route they take, feedback, and everything. It is being noted in the platform or the cloud-based data center. Then we have, by using the machine learning capabilities, Beago can predict the future behavior based on many years of historical data to inform and enhance its service development. We all know this thing. This is all related to the data analytics things and the machine learning. It is also present in the current pre-scene, which is for the September attempt. Beago relies significantly on technology to attract new drivers, customer through videos, social media, email, search engine optimization, keyword searches, traditional promotion such as TV, radio. So they are into the e-marketing thing. Okay. Then Beago engages with its current customer through a variety of online media, including emails, in-app notification, social media content. Beago's marketing message is "We go with Beago." Okay. So then we have Beago staff information by the function: research and design, product management, data science and technology, customer services, legal and safety, sales and marketing, finance, human resource, and other. So the percentage shows us that the research and design is 22%, 16, 14, and everything is maintained here. What I feel like that the data science and technology, this percentage has to be, among the top one or two. It is on the third thing. Also the customer service staff, these are the main areas, and also the legal safety staff. I feel like these are a bit, on the lower side. But anyways, you can see if there is any question or any recommendation which you can make relevant to the requirement. Right? Beago employs over 5,000 staff in 60 locations across Beeland. Over 50% of its staff are employed in research and design, product management, and data sciences and technology. So the sum is around 50%. Drivers are not recognized as the employees of the Beago, we all know. So the leadership structure is that we have the non-executive chairperson, it's okay. Non-executive director, we have 6 non-executive directors. Then we have the executive director, chief marketing officer, chief people officer, commercial officer, technology, finance, and executive director. Okay, so now we have the risk register of Beago with us. The risks are reputation, brand and culture, technology infrastructure, competition, licensing and industry regulation. These are the main risks, and obviously, for sure, these are the very important risks as per so far of our analysis, right? Building a strong reputation, brand as safe and affordable service is critical to our ability to attract and retain qualified drivers and customers. Negative perception of the Beago, which may harm our reputation, brand include. Okay, so these are the negative perception which can harm. So you should be aware of that these things can harm you. What is illegal, negligent, and reckless behaviors by the drivers or customer? Both can be dangerous to each other. There are few incidents which I know that the customer looted the driver looted the customer. So they both can be dangerous for each other. Concern of the customer or drivers about the safety, disruption or defects in our platform such as privacy, data security, breaches, outages, which impact the reliability of our services. We all know. Failure to operate consistently with our values and missions, failure to maintain a culture which employs value and wish to work within. Okay. Then we have business involves the collection, storage, processing of customer and driver personal data. Okay. We also maintain confidential and sensitive information relating to our business. Therefore, our system are vulnerable to security incident and breaches. Vulnerable means exposed, right? So they are exposed to the security breaches, and this is our risk. As the techniques used to obtain unauthorized access or sabotage system changes frequently, we may, this is the repeat line in the current pre-scene. Unable to anticipate or prevent such attacks, we also rely on our third-party cloud service provider to ensure that it maintains sufficient investment in system security. So this is based on the third party. Whatever measures, if like see for example, if I am making all my efforts in data security, but my third-party service provider is not taking all the measure, so this is again your risk. Then competition. Market is highly competitive. and characterized by the rapid changes in technology, we expect competition to continue both from current competitors, new entrants. If we are unable to anticipate or successfully react to these competitive challenges, our competitive position would weaken. We also compete with public transport, taxi cab, car rental, and micromobility companies, some of which may have greater resources than we do. Okay. Then we have on local authority, we are dependent on the local authority within each city we operate to grant us and our license drivers operating license. So the local authorities are giving the separate licenses to us and to the drivers as well. So we are dependent on them. If we or our driver do not comply with the license arrangement or transport provider, put pressure on local authority to prevent us from receiving these licenses to operate. This will severely restrict our businesses. So they are saying that the if you are not following the compliances, if other transport providers are putting pressure on the local authorities that do not allow these TNCs companies to operate here, they can have the impact on us. Okay. Similarly, increasing regulation of the TNC industry related to its impact on the environment and increased safety requirement for both customers and drivers is expected and will continue to increase our costs. Obviously, you have to minimize your carbon footprint, you have to minimize the emissions, you have to take care about the security of your customers and drivers, and you have to put some extra costs for it. Now we have the website extracts mission to provide communities with affordable, accessible, sustainable transport. Vision, a world where transport and technology work seamlessly, because they were from the IT company and they used to develop the apps. So they merged these two industries with each other to bring people, businesses, and communities together. Okay. Values, our ethical code of conduct ensures that we maintain our focus on operating to the highest ethical professional standard, and our focus is also on the safety of our customers, drivers, and the communities we work within. Committed to safety, we value the safety of our customers and driver. To protect them, we implement a range of safety features. What are these safety features? Let us go through it. Annual background check of every driver is carried out by the third party expert. So the background check which was done initially, it's not a one time, it is recurring on annual basis. Okay. Continuous criminal monitoring means driver will disqualified criminal convictions are removed from the platform immediately. Okay. Driver must complete a safety program annually, which includes how to create a safety and comfortable ride, appropriate conversation topics, and respecting personal boundaries. So there is a training program for the drivers as well, which tells them that how to create the safe and comfortable ride. They are being trained for it annually. And also, see, it happens sometime that like we do not want to discuss everything with the drivers, right? And somehow when we are discussing something and the conversation goes to that point where any of you could feel uncomfortable or you do not want to share the confidential data. So this is also the training which should be given to the drivers, that what topics to discuss and what not to, right? And respect the personal boundaries. And then the other thing is that if the customer or drivers feel uncomfortable or need emergency assistance at any point, they can instantly connect with our security team through an in-app help button 24 by 7. So the customer and driver both have the inbuilt security button in the app through which they can connect with the Beago instantly. Customers have access to friends and family notification system which can notify designated customer or contact of the details of the ride in progress. This was what I was talking about the security thing. Most of our drivers vehicle have been equipped with cameras to record ride to protect both customers and driver. So the camera is fitted also in there to monitor the whole ride. Data privacy and storage and usage of our customer data is our top priority. All customer contact detail, ride, and payment information are considered classified data, and we fully comply with the BLAND legislation in terms of the data privacy, storage, and usage. We also expect our cloud service provider to operate the same standard in terms of the protecting and managing our customer personal data. In the end of each ride, drivers and customers must read their right. Any customer or driver who submit a rating below 80% satisfaction is prompted to provide more detail. So drivers and customer, they both are giving the rating to each other, and any of them, if they give them below 80%, the further details are asked, that why below 80%, what happened, and you have to specify it, both drivers and the customers. Committed to the environment, what they are saying, the primary concern of the government and the communities we serve is the level of harmful emissions in the Beeline town and cities. This has to be there because you are operating in such industry. We are aware that our business is a contributor to these emissions. Therefore, we are committed to reducing our impact in several ways. So they are aware of it and they are doing something to eliminate or negate or nullify the impacts. We encourage customer to select the shared rides and micro mobility operation. Okay, good. We continue to invest further in our micro mobility infrastructure across the Beeline, but obviously, not everyone is going to use this bicycle. If you're going to the offices in a suit or any family function, you cannot use these type of thing for everything, right? We have launched an in-app feature for customer to be able to request ride in electric or hybrid vehicle instead of fossil fuel vehicle. So they are giving the option to the customer as well, that they can select the electrical vehicle, and then they can only have the rides which are completed through using the electrical vehicle rather than the fossil fuels. As we do not own any vehicle used by our rider, we will continue to find ways to incentivize more drivers to use more environmental friendly, sustainable vehicles, such as assisting our driver in making contact with the electrical car rental businesses. So, as the business is not owning any car, they cannot do anything. But what they can do, they can incentivize or promote the use of the electrical vehicle to the drivers. How they can support them, they can connect them with the rental car businesses who can rent them or lease out the car electrical vehicles to the driver, and then driver can work for us. So this is how you can do it, right? Then we have the KPIs. Revenue is increasing. Okay. Active customers increasing. Rides completed has significantly increased. It's a good thing. And then we have the ride hailing, ride sharing, micro mobility, business service. All of them are here. What I can see is that the colors are too much likely, but I am going from the first, second, third, fourth. So first, second, third, and fourth. So the business services, it was not there, it was not there, it was not there. It started in 2000 X2. Okay. So ride hailing, it was high, it was high, it was high, it was high, and it is high among everyone and significantly high. Then we have ride sharing, ride sharing, ride sharing, ride sharing, ride sharing. Ride sharing is decreasing. How, why, and how, you need to check. Then we have what? Then we have micro mobility, micro mobility, micro mobility, micro mobility, micro mobility, and micro mobility. It is increasing. Okay. Then finally we have business services. So business services, it was giving the services to the businesses for the mobility of their staff, employees, and customers and the big clients. Business services came and it is increasing, so it is a good thing. Our all segments are increasing. What about BCG metrics? Could be applied here. Okay. Net promoter score, so the score industry average and as compared to the Beago, so it was high, it came, it was same, then it was high, same. So after one each year it is becoming close to the industry, but currently it is too much more than the industry. It's a good thing. Driver satisfaction rate, so the driver satisfaction rate, it went down, it went up, then it went down, and it is going down. Why? And it is alarming thing, right? You need to be very careful of it. So this is the debrief of the pre-scene in a very quick way, so that you can attempt your mock. What is the time right now? It's 6:36 right now in Pakistan. So I am starting your mock from this time. Have you guys downloaded the question paper from the link, the pre-scene from the link? Can you please confirm me? Yes, everyone. So now I want you to open your Word file, or if you want to do it on CB platform, wherever you want to open it. Harshi, please use the link shared by me on the group to download the question and the pre-scene. Because this is a highlighted pre-scene, I will not give it to you because in paper you will not get the highlighted pre-scene. Okay, yes, I saw it due to the maintenance, it's not working. So you guys will, do it on Word. Open the MS Word document and start doing your mock. It's 6:40 p.m. here, and if I would add 15 minutes to it, it will be 9:55 p.m. Right? So your time starts now, and Pakistan time. You all will complete the mock. For the self-study student, I will share my drafted answer for you with you so that you can compare it. And if you face any difficulty or you need to discuss anything, you can always reach me out. And for the registered student, send this mock to me and I will provide you the mock feedback report as we did in the mock one. So your time starts now.